Boom, we're live, everybody, on Twitch and YouTube. Just tweet this out real quick. I don't have the luxury of not having an intro anymore because we're on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Nat, and that is my co-host Dylan Camacho. And we're Twitch Wednesdays, now on YouTube.
Now on YouTube.
Intro.
Well, technically, this is Twitch Tuesdays, now on Wednesdays, now T-Dubs, now on YouTube. The show, it's we keep making some changes to it. It is.
We didn't tell the others that we're going to be posting on YouTube. It just sort of happened, and I don't think they'll ever find out, to be honest.
It's fun. You know, this is on par for us. I think a lot of people kind of expect this kind of nonsense from us.
Yeah. I'm trying to get all of my ducks in a row. Get the Twitch set up, get the YouTube set up. We got a thumbs up on YouTube, so when someone's watching us.
Nice. Yeah, feel free to hit us up in chat.
I really
also, why am I so blurry on YouTube right now? That's weird.
Are you blurry?
On YouTube.
I have it paused. I don't know.
Yeah, I pull myself up and I'm blurry. Am I blurry for everybody else? Let me know.
Well, you look fine on YouTube. You look fine on my screen, too.
That's weird. I look fine on this screen, but then on YouTube, I look blurry as shit.
Well, you're kind of blurry on my screen. It comes and goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it auto adjusts or whatever. Like that's weird. Anyway, what are we getting into tonight? What trouble are we getting into?
Let's see. So we have the Hawkeye review, the last two episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the last episode?
Yeah, I'm caught up.
Okay. All right, good. We're gonna talk Spider-Man: Far From Home, or not Far From Home, No Way Home spoilers, because I just saw the movie last night. It was amazing. I'm just kidding. I haven't seen it yet.
I'm like, no, I haven't. And no, we aren't talking any spoilers.
I'm seeing it tomorrow, and I'm very adamant about avoiding social media. The only time I went on Twitter was to post that we're live. So
I should see about watching it tomorrow. Hold on. Okay, what else are we talking about while I look up Spider-Man tickets?
Well, the Matrix, what is it? Resurrection is coming out.
Resurrection.
So, and I'm doing a Matrix rewatch. And I know you wanted to hear my thoughts on the two.
I do want to hear your thoughts on this because the Matrix it gets interesting as you kind of go look at it, go back and watch it, right? So like kind of get a different lens on it. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
So I'm planning on. I was supposed to watch all three Matrix movies before today, but I haven't seen Resurrections yet. I mean, I've obviously seen it before, but I haven't rewatched it in my rewatch.
Right.
I've seen Reloaded, and boy, do I have some thoughts.
Something, yeah.
So those are the topics that I have. Unless you have any more that you want to talk about. Also, like Spectacular as well. We were there.
Yeah. Talking Spectacular.
I don't know who this Amy Campbell is, but appreciate you.
Yeah.
Also, Danny Joy's here.
Danny! Love you, miss you. How are you doing, girl? How are you doing? More importantly, how are you doing? Let's know in chat. Yeah, we're talking Spectacular. I'm talking about how I almost fucking died. National headline news: total tornadoes.
Oh yeah. How are you holding up? How's your neighborhood?
It's been better. My one strip neighborhood is actually pretty good. Yeah. We can lead with that. It's pretty important. One of our co-hosts almost died. Yeah. So. For those who don't know, I guess I got to give myself away, at least my location a little bit. I live in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And if that sounds kind of familiar, that's because we are one of two cities that got hit by some pretty gnarly weather this past weekend. Turns out tornadoes are scary and do a lot of damage. So the other town, Mayfield, that got hit, it's like obliterated. Like the whole city is like wrecked. Bowling Green, the city that I live in, also got hit. And we got hit pretty hard in chunks. So for perspective, right? Where I live, I guess the best way to describe our city as far as like our main streets is kind of like a triangle. Like you have like three kind of big main roads that kind of go to any parts of town. Mm-hmm. The one I live on is like there's a triangle, but then there's like one main road that kind of connects two legs of the triangle, and I live on that road. I'm not going to tell you more than that because I don't want you to find where my house is. But the idea is that I live on that one. So I live on this like 2 blocks away from main road. And 2 blocks away, devastated, like just ripped apart, ripped to shreds. If I go 2 blocks this direction, ripped to shreds. If I go 2 blocks this direction, ripped to shreds. Right now, we cannot. It takes like 25 minutes to get from east to west, which is normally like a 5-minute drive. Just because like there is just a whole line of devastation across uptown that's like separating like where our campus side is from like where the rest of all of our stuff is, and it's so bad. Like it is so bad. It was super humbling because I drove out like the day or two later because we had a wedding that was like 20 miles off. So that place was fine. But we had a wedding we were going to, and I was trying to get north of town, and normally I drive through like a little neighborhood that was just wiped out. So I got trapped in there for like 20 minutes because a bunch of locals were there. Tree trunks, like huge tree trunks, just ripped out, tore down all the power lines. Like there's houses just wrecked. It is chaos. Like this is like real deal shit. If you've seen any pictures on like Facebook, which if you haven't seen on Facebook, I get it. But if you want to get an idea for it, like literally just Googling Bowling Green, Kentucky tornado will pull up some pictures really quick, and it's fucking humbling. But that being said, I'm fine. My house is fine. We got really lucky on that one. Our windows were vibrating like they were about to like pop through. That was pretty fucking scary. But
yeah,
we lost power for like a day and a half or something like that. Like,
oh yeah,
for like it was a while. And then we had, lost internet for like a little while longer than that. But yeah, I mean, it was fine compared to like many other places. Many other places, people lost homes. We lost 500 homes in our city. Over 100 businesses lost like their businesses, like buildings just got torn asunder. So this was big. Like this was like scary big. There's been like police trucks. There's been police and National Guard sent in from everywhere, all over the state to sit there and kind of deal with it because we're the 3rd biggest city in the state, and for us to get hit this bad is like kind of like oh shit, we're not prepared to even handle this. So we got a bunch of construction stuff kind of like working through that. But long story short, I'm doing fine. But that being said, yeah, if you feel charitable, go find some Bowling Green charity thing or something like that. Go put some money and effort towards that. Don't give it to me. I'm fine. Don't give me anything. Actually, I don't want to be responsible for it more than anything. But yeah, if you find a charitable moment, I thought about doing a whole damn stream with it and organizing it. But honestly, it's a lot of work, and I would rather be just giving blood and doing something locally, if I'm being honest. So, but yeah, so that's the gist of it. If I live 2 blocks any other way, I just don't have a home.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. Like I'm so glad you and your wife are okay.
Yeah,
but, like that's like I've seen the pictures. It's so devastating.
Yeah.
I don't mean to like laugh at the destruction, obviously.
No,
like,
it's like,
I did like kind of like giggle a little bit because your lag is so bad and you're using a lot of hand motions and you're sometimes getting stuck. So yeah, I mean tornadoes are scary, man. Like I don't know where I heard this, but I heard it recently. I think it might have been from a TV show or maybe a real life conversation. But like tornadoes aren't as like destructive as hurricanes, but like I feel like they're so much scarier because they just happen like so suddenly.
Yeah,
that's like crazy to me,
dude. It like literally came out of nowhere. So I was on the road, like I was at my boss's playing poker until like 9, and it touched down 9:30. Like, it flipped the switch, and I was driving, and it was just like a little windy and like rainy whenever I was driving home. And granted, like it was like a 2-minute drive. Like I live literally like right down the street from like where my boss lives, but just nuts, dude. Yeah, very very humbling. Because I won't lie, we live in Tornado Valley, so you think this is something that we hear all the time, but Bowling Green has always kind of been this sweet spot where it either goes to Nashville, goes south, or it goes above us.
Mm-hmm.
It usually misses us, but this time around it was just like, dude, super super gnarly, just popped up, and it was 2. Like there were 2 tornadoes at one point. Like I'm trying to find this picture on Facebook, but I have to be on Facebook, which is literally the fucking worst. Mm-hmm. And but it's a picture of like literally 2 tornadoes just tearing their way through town, and it's like holy shit. Like people found. So we have a campus. On campus, we have a dorm building that's like a 28-floor dorm, right? Like a big tower. And on the 27th floor, there was a truck bed up there. Like somebody was like, "Oh yeah, no big deal, just a truck bed up on the 27th floor of PFT." Yeah, like, oh man, my friend almost died. Super scary. But I don't want to stay in the trauma of it. Like all things considered.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm glad we're talking about it because it is a like huge deal. Like something major just happened to you. And
Yeah, like
it's scary, man.
so I think it was wild that not a lot of people even knew. Like when we were all telling you guys, I was like, I'm surprised I'm not seeing this in national headlines. Like this is a big fucking like this is a lot of destruction. And then only until like a couple days after did I start seeing it like taking cycles around. Or even I think somebody in the Schmodown group was like, hey, so I heard there was some kind of like rough tornado. Is everybody doing all right? And I'm like, hey, per usual, I have an opinion on this. So
Yeah, I saw you and Abby Friedel talking about it on Twitter, and that's the first time I saw anything about it.
yeah. Well, and Friel, again, she's out of Nashville, so she's like just 60 minutes north. But I don't think Nashville got hit that bad from what I heard, but still scary.
Smithy in the Twitch chat saying, "My power's out, guys. Luckily, beer and weed don't require electricity." Amen to that.
Hell yeah.
My last of my phone battery on you guys. We appreciate it, Smitty. It was so good meeting you. It's spectacular.
Oh, Smithy, literally one of like my top 3 moments was sitting there getting to hang out with you, my dude. Like that's not kissing your ass just because you're tuning in and wasting all your phone battery on the show. 100%. I was just stoked to sit there and see you in person.
So I recognized you when we first met. But I really appreciate that you had a shirt that said who you were.
Yeah, no, it was the mask. It was the mask because at first I was just like, I'm pretty sure that's Smithy, but I also don't want to like you don't introduce to sit there and make yourself feel stupid. You don't go to somebody like, hey, Smithy, and it's like not you, and I'm like, oh shit, my bad, like
Yeah, this a very similar thing happened to me today. So this person that I hadn't met before, I was being introduced here, and it was like, I'm gonna make up a name. They're like, oh, this is Carla. And I was like, "Oh yeah, we've met." we hadn't met. I met someone else yesterday. I was like, "Oh, we met like 5 minutes ago when I was standing over there." but yeah, I mean, it's super hard to recognize people with masks, but I would recognize Smitty anywhere.
I mostly recognize him. Great to meet you as well. Pleasure is ours. Pleasure is ours. Hold on, I'm gonna pop out and pop back in really quick because I feel like I'm freezing and lagging a lot.
Yeah, you do that.
Okay, be right back.
All right. I'm going to vamp a little bit. We are going to be talking about Hawkeye. We're going to be talking about how Leos are toxic. If you don't understand that joke, we did a thing a few weeks ago. You probably don't know. Yep, it's not much better.
Not much better. Okay, I'm going to do a restart and then do this. Be right back.
Okay. All right, what the fuck do I talk about? I'm not used to being left here alone, guys. Yeah, so we're gonna be talking. I'm gonna give you my spoiler-free Hawkeye thoughts. I think this show is so freaking good. Everything I wanted it to be. I don't know how to talk about it without spoilers. This is I hate when fucking Dylan just ups and leaves, especially when I don't have a co-host. Danny's usually here with me, but he's not, so it's just me. Anything you guys want to know about? You guys want me to talk about here? Will McLean says Hawkeye was pretty fantastic. I agree. I feel like Hawkeye has been that show that just gets better as it goes on, because I wasn't really feeling the first 2 episodes too much. I mean, I liked it, obviously. I'm a huge Hawkeye fan, but that also means that I am more prone to critique it harsher than I would be if I wasn't like a huge Hawkeye fan. And I've read the comics, like that Matt Fraction run is probably one of my favorite comic book runs of all time. And I think it's so interesting what they're doing with the show. Dylan's back finally. Not to vamp by myself anymore.
Hey, how's it looking? How's it feeling?
Nope, still same.
Still the same.
Yeah, you still. I mean, yeah, you still get frozen from time to time. It's not like blurry as much anymore.
Yeah. No, that's so weird. Because I have YouTube over and I see myself freezing and chugging.
Yeah.
But I'm not on my screen. Like on my screen, I'm totally good. I wonder if it's like
that happens to me when I freeze and I can still see myself.
Right.
I think it's a StreamYard thing where you can see yourself fine.
All right. Well, that's what it is. Anyway. But do you hear me all right, even when I freeze up though?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Your audio is good.
Okay. If I'm just audio sometimes, then that's fine, I guess. But missing out stream, I know. Gotta keep this handsome face going. Hawkeye has been pretty fantastic, says Will McLean. I agree, Will.
He says you're flowing now.
Hey, I'm flowing. Flowing.
All right, so let's talk about Hawkeye.
Let's get into Hawkeye. Let's get into Hawkeye. Bowling Green.
So, full spoilers.
What
I already
happened?
gave my no spoilers stats.
What happened the episode before last? I forget.
They broke into Maya's apartment, and then they got attacked by Yelena.
That's right. We got Yelena in there. Okay. So
what happened? No. Oh, it was that scene where Clint is in the car with Kazi, and he just like chucks his gun. That was a good moment.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good. He's like, "Can I get my gun back?" Like,
I think you know the answer to that. Just
yeah.
chuck it.
No, the episode before was pretty good. It's funny. So I actually knew what the alarms. Again, deaf culture paying off. Whenever Kate was in the apartment and the alarms were going off, but there was like no audio alarm to it. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, when she's like breaking into the apartment upstairs, and then the big flashers are.
Hold up! Breaking news: we got Danny Costa in chat. What's up, Danny? But also Dustin Juice
live from a couch at Barney's.
Yeah, okay. Let's pause the Hawkeye talk for a little bit and just talk about Spectacular, just a little bit. So I was thinking about this on the plane ride home. Mm-hmm. Like we got a lot of stuff done on couches, not just that night, but also the first night we were there. We went to a party at Nerd Chronics, and then the other one's like, everyone's all grouped up. You want to just go chill on the couch? Then we did, and we watched Home Alone 2. And then that's when the crowd started to form around us.
Mm-hmm. Dude, couches are our natural energy, man. Like, couches are our spirit animal.
Truly.
All of our best moments happened on couches. And I know that sounds like very sexual, and it is. But, yeah, no, it was the best. Stuff done on couches. Yeah, Will knows what I'm talking about.
I'm not like, I don't consider myself an introvert. But, like, when I just find it so much easier to let people come to me rather than just like, try to squeeze myself into like groups that have already formed.
Is this a Gemini thing? I don't know.
I don't think it's a Gemini thing.
Danny girl, if you're around still, let us know. Is this a Gemini trait?
No, because Danny was on the couch. She was like hopping around and stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know what we're talking about, it was after Spectacular.
Oh yeah.
We went to Barney's, a bar, and then we just sat on a couch right by the bathroom. And everyone needs to use the bathroom. So
it was the smartest thing we had done. It was the smartest thing we did all night. Like, yeah, this was right after Spectacular, and we were like, man, we really wish we could talk to people. But when you're in, for anybody who doesn't know, all right, so I guess let's just make a Spectacular talk right now. We'll come back to Hawkeye in a second. So, I don't know if you have a banner for that. Nah, wink. Spectacular talk. That's it. I'll wait. There we go. So, post-Spectacular, lovely pay-per-view event. But we're sitting there at Barney's, and we've been doing like laps and talking and drinking and doing that stuff like all night long, right? So like in typical Spectacular weekend fashion, we've just been partying for like 3 days straight. And I just remember at one point, like the couch was opening up, and I'm like, dude, I'm old as shit. I want to sit. And that couch looks good. That couch looking soft. That couch looking thick, baby. Let's go sit on that couch. And by pure happenstance magic, yeah, it was right next to the bathrooms. And we got most of our no chills booked through the year for just being on that couch.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give out the names just yet, but let me count them up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 no chills planned. And let me count the ones that we scheduled while we were sitting down. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. So only two that we booked while standing up.
Yeah. I think we can spoil one of them.
Which one?
It's maybe somebody who's been in our chat recently.
The best.
We get Justin the Juice on No Chill. It's gonna be a good time. That's gonna be so fun.
It wasn't even like a big invitation. Like it wasn't like a big deal or anything. We just like, hey, Juice, you wanna come on No Chill? It was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, literally. No, I think that's a funny thing. Like, I would like to sit here and wish we had like kind of like more big grand stories to kind of tell. But to be honest, I really don't feel like I have like a giant story from like Spectacular. It was just kind of like one long ongoing experience, which is not a bad thing. But if you've gone to a Spectacular before, so for people who don't know, who've had not gone to a Spectacular or a just Schmoedown live event in general, it tends to be just a long line of drinking and hanging out with people, and then drinking and moving into a new group of people, talking to them until you eventually move or they move, and then rinse repeat all night. So you're on your feet, you're just moving around. You're really a bartender. I mean, it's just a bartender's lifestyle, but with more socializing. Maybe even less, actually. But so at that point, like I said, we've been doing this whole song and dance for like 2 or 3 nights in a row. By the time we get to that couch, it is so funny. Like, we're just, chit-chat people as we go on. And, like, I just kind of love that, like, Juice was going by, who I really wish we got to hang out. I wish we got to hang out more. Honestly, it's just the nature of Spectacular is that everybody's everywhere. So, not, very rarely are we all sitting in, like, one party house or things like that. We just got to hang out with Juice more. Juice is so cool.
Honestly, there's not one person who was that Spectacular that I didn't wish that I hung out with more.
No, 100%. Like, I feel like that happens every time too. That's really it's hard because Spectacular truly is the buffet of socializing. Like you try a little bit of everybody. That sounds sexual again. Whatever, I'll keep it. So you try a little bit of everybody, and you're like, that's good, but I gotta try this. I gotta try this. And then you sit there and you go home and you're like, man, I really wish I got some more of those mashed potatoes. I was sleeping on them. There was garlic in it or something. It's good. That's how I feel about Justin. That's how I feel about like 95% of the people I talked to and hung out with the entire nights.
Stardew, I don't know why it's not popping up in our StreamYard. But Stardew says, hey, Nat and Dylan. Hello, Nat and Dylan. And love to see Danielle and Meg one day. I would love to see Meg's too.
That's two of us. I'm sad that we didn't get to see Megs in person because I was really hoping that she was going to be able to make it out. We knew shortly beforehand that she wasn't going to be able to. But, yeah, and I was supposed to drunk dial a caller and stuff like that. Honestly, I never even got that hammered. I got a little tipsy.
I couldn't afford to get that hammered. The drinks are just so expensive.
They were expensive. They were very expensive. I won't lie. I got a little buzzed at Barney's. I was a little buzzed.
I did get buzzed.
Yeah, we got buzzed at Barney's because that's where we started getting most of our no-shows. We were on the couch. We were like, maybe we just get a couple drinks.
Honestly, like once I hit the couch, I started to sober up a lot.
Yeah.
Before that, I was definitely feeling
it. Yeah. No, I just think it's so funny just being able to sit there and see people bounce back and forth and just being able to see everybody and just talking to people. Man, we have some. All right, I'm gonna hype up. I feel like, love it or hate it, so much of our Spectacular experience was also like planning for a no-show for the following year. So I just kind of want to gas it up because I'm just like, bro, we got some names I didn't think that we would ever do an episode with. So the one that comes to mind. Is it
this?
Alice massaged me with one hand for like 30 seconds. That means we're friends, right? Man, yes, that means you're. Alan, I don't know how to tell you this. I think that means you're married in certain countries.
I had the exact same thing happen to me at 2019 awards when Ellis just touched my shoulders. Like, oh my God, I'm being touched by Mark Ellis.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, it's so crazy to me. Like, this community isn't a small community by any means, but like the fact that some of these competitors, some of these personalities, like know who I am, and I even get to call some of them my friends. Is insane. I mean, Dylan and I watched The Dark Knight Rises with Paul Denuzio. What the hell?
What a legend, that Paul guy. No, I know. Paul. Yeah, Paul. I love to see. I love to get to hang out with Paul for like the minutes that we did.
Yeah.
Because Paul's doing Schmoedown shit. So anytime we were anywhere at a bar, he was just gone. I didn't see him for the rest of the night when we were at the like concert one or whatever. Which is not me sliding on it. I get it. Like I get it. He's doing his thing, but.
Brandon Hanna in the chat says, "Look, it's the voice from the third point of view."
Yeah, my man gets it. That's right. We hella defected. We're just on the call to action channel right now to make sure that they stay a little relevant. You know what I mean, Brandon?
We're winning that award 3 years in a row.
3 years in a row. It's your boys.
It's fine that 75% of the members don't know who I am.
Yeah,
they will.
They will.
I'm part of the team now.
Molly doesn't know who we are.
Nope. I think Brian has an idea of who we are, but he but Paul told him to go talk to us, and he
And
did.
he did.
He straight up didn't. So
And
we're
he
gonna
did.
use that for our.
That's a fun story. All right, let's start some shit. I want to stir the pot a little bit. So I got beef with Kurt at a certain point of view. So for those, all right, I'm not gonna tell you guys why we want to talk to Kurt at a certain point of view, but we just want to talk to a couple members. We talked to Jill, who does know who we are. But I was like, yeah, Jill, I wanna like talk to the rest of like the certain point of view crew. I wanna like, I wanna meet them. And she's like, yeah, sure. And then like she did Jill shit all night, so like she was gone. So we're all at Barney's that same night, and I see like the point of view crew kind of like roaming around here and there. And I tell Paul Nuzio, PLD himself, I said, hey, if you see Brian, tell him to come on over. We want to go talk, we want to chat with him really quick. He's like, all right. And we never see Brian. So that to me feels very disrespectful. All right. First of all, point of view, who the fuck are you? Why are you gonna sit there and all right? We wanted to, you know what? I was trying to meet you halfway. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to sit here and just socialize, be members of a community that we're all shared together. And certain point of view keeps touting up next award winners, eat our dick call to action. They pump champagne bottles, spray it. I get it. Like whatever, you're like the nice shiny thing this year, but like, you know, be humble. That's all I asked. We were humble.
Yeah, I mean, we were super nice to dedicate to art.
No, we weren't.
I couldn't say that with a straight face.
No.
Kelsey Kirkland in the chat.
Kelsey says, "Yo, Kelsey, we need to change your YouTube picture to our."
Oh yeah, I just noticed that.
We need to change your YouTube picture to our Cyberthirst. Like that needs to be the new default.
That's actually we should do that. Honestly, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, so we told Paul to get Brian up there, and I didn't say this to anyone, but I actually saw out of my peripheral Brian go up to the other couch next to us. Then he just walked away.
So here's why that makes it worse. He doesn't even know what we look like. What the fuck? We've won awards. I gave a speech.
I truly don't think he does know what we look like.
No, I think he has no idea what we look like. Which is fucked up. I know what Brian looks like.
I know exactly what Brian looks like.
Yeah.
A future award winner.
Son of a bitch. I'm pissed. Certain point of view, you're on my shit list.
We got beef.
We got beef.
We're beefing now.
We got beef. Stay tuned. More for that later.
But yeah, that's spectacular. It was a good time. I like that we didn't talk about the matches at all either. We just talked about everything around
Listen, if you want to talk about matches, here's what I'll say about the matches. Pretty good matches. Yeah. I personally think Kalinowski and Parker's match stole the show.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that was a total nail biter.
I actually really like the Star Wars match too.
No, the Star Wars match actually, yeah. Let me check myself for a second. Star Wars match was absolutely fire. Mm-hmm. That came down to the wire. Ooh, man. No, absolutely great. Incredibly underrated match, yeah, but yeah, so those two. It by a certain standard, there's an argument to be said that Spectacular is great, but debatably a little boring just because we didn't see any titles transfer. Spectacular was pretty fucking great, and Snowdown was fun too. Yes, I mean, listen, here's my big thing with it. Like, I love Spectacular. All the matches were solid. Community's great. Being able to see people is great. I'm gonna sound a little corny for a second. I won't lie. I wish I could spend more time with C2A. I wish we had more time where all of us were together and then able to like sit there and chill, hang out. Because even when we were like being in the Ubers back and forth and stuff like that, like I still feel like I didn't get enough time to hang out with everybody. You know what I mean? Like yeah. But I don't know. It makes me really want to just have like, all right, let's sometime in like June just fucking rent out a compound in like anywhere that's not in the Midwest or something. You guys see me in the IG program 3rd year in a row, baby. Yes, Brandon. I absolutely did. I was so stoked to see you in there. Thank God. Brandon, if anybody gets it, you do. Fighting for relevancy, we're not too different, you and I.
Oh, that's too funny. I love that.
Can I just say, Brandon, for the record, I just love seeing you again, my dude. That's so good. I say this. Listen. As much as I love all of Showdown community and stuff like that, both fan and competitor side, things like that. Man, I just gotta say, any of our IG players, Nat heard me rant about this at Barney's. The IG players, man, these are my people. Other than Kalinowski, he gets a little too high on his horse. I have to boot him down. But no, anytime I bump into an IG player, I just feel like I'm like genuinely talking to somebody. I cannot say enough how much I appreciate that. Because it's too much of that. It's too much. I'm not going to sit on too long, but it's too much of that LA culture where it just feels like, oh, it's not transactional, or if I didn't, give you $50 on Patreon or something, then I don't feel like that I deserve the time to sit there and talk to somebody. So just being able to talk to people just very passively and just enjoy their conversations, I feel like it's not like you're having this conversation because you feel like you owe me it. Like, oh, it's just satisfying. Like, so thank you, Brandon, for just being a genuinely great human being. That's it.
Yeah, I echo those thoughts, but I also I feel like everyone we've had on No Chill, like I am just such a huge fan of who they are as people.
No, yeah,
everyone we've had on No Chill are like my favorite people.
I tend to think that No Chill tracks like the most wholesome people, which is kind of like ironically the point of the show. But like more incidentally than that is just like they're people that I would genuinely feel like I could have a conversation with. And be like, yeah, I think they're lovely people. Like, oh my gosh, I wish we were closer. If I lived in LA, I would be bothering them all the time to be like, hey, you want to go get lunch or something? Like, Oh man, yeah, I'd be trying to.
Yeah, that's gonna change soon though, because we got some scumbags coming up on No Chill.
Oh yeah, no, we got some fucking degenerates on No Chill. Yeah, Well, I'm ready for this next season.
I'm just looking at this list. It's so good.
It's intimidating, actually.
I don't know when we're going to film all these episodes.
Well, we know when we're going to film one of those episodes.
Yeah, we do have a date lockdown for one of them. But I don't know, even if we filmed all of these in January, when are we going to release them? Like, should we just drop them all week after week? Or should we do it monthly and just hold on to them?
I'm a firm believer we sit on it and then we release them slowly towards the end of the year because it's all relevancy.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'll say. If we have 9, I say we drop maybe, depends. If we record all 9 before then, I would say we drop maybe 3 or 4, just 1 or 2 that we think are good. But then we're like, okay, but we're building to this one.
Because my thing is, what if one of them turns out to be like a Chris Benoit situation where they kill themselves and their family, and then we have this unreleased episode that we can't really publish now because they're a murderer.
Yeah, it does get a little tricky. That's true. And some of the jokes we make may be really relevant to the time that we film it. Fuck. Yeah, we really do have to release it early.
Not all of them.
Yeah, literally, I might just be like, I might literally straight up just be like, let's just drop them all at once. Fuck it. But
I don't know because
no, because nobody's going to watch all through all of those. And it's not going to get so many of those episodes. I think every single one of those episodes, based on the guests, deserves to have its moment to shine. So I feel like a 2 to 3 week calendar. We could literally just be like, all right, every third week.
I was gonna say bi-weekly.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it would be better if we drop them off at the end of the year. Therefore, there's recency bias, and we can get that award again.
We're trying to get that award again at the end of next year, purely on No Chill alone.
Purely on No Chill and Meg's After Action Report.
See, but I think here's the thing. All right, here's the thing. If it really was going to matter, really, if it was going to be a relevancy discussion, then they need to be getting eyes before then, and then people, that way we could sit there and pick up more people if we really wanted to. Because throughout the season, we don't know. We might, a new character might come out, or somebody old might be playing a new character, and we might have just great banter with an idea with that. Because that's all it takes. Sometimes we just watch a match and we're like, oh my god, I wanna do No Chill with that that character, just with that idea.
Yeah.
Kelsey, hashtag 2022 award run. Kelsey, we ain't fucking getting shit. We know that. Listen, no matter how good, no matter how award-winningly good our content is, they don't want to give us the award anymore. We're fucking washed up. Hella washed.
Stay tuned, though. We got some good stuff coming.
Stay tuned, because I don't care. Me and Nat are excited about it, and honestly, that's all that matters.
Oh, okay. Smithy says, do a combo No Chill with 2 guests, but don't tell them in advance. That's actually a really good idea.
That's a good idea, Smithy. We may or may not have already had this idea. Stay tuned. All I'll say, Smithy. I'll say that the first one we record is probably going to be the first one we drop, though.
Just stay tuned.
See what's going on around January, Smithy. Just hang tight.
I hope they're not watching the person we have planned on. So That's spectacular. As long as there's anything else you want to add.
Yeah, nobody offered me drugs. I thought that was weird.
Did anyone offer me drugs? I don't think anyone did.
Guys, we like drugs. Let's do it. It's LA. Come on. Come on vacation.
I also feel like it wasn't a good time to do drugs for me because I don't know. I feel weird when I'm both drunk and high. Like that's
you don't do crossfaded?
Yeah, but it's like different types of feelings that I don't feel measurable for me personally. Even though most of the time I'm high, I'm usually drunk.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. I might even be high right now.
So I will say that we haven't talked about the concert.
Yeah, I was just about to bring up the concert. That was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
It did go on for a little too long because of technical issues. But like other than that, it was a really good time. Alex Merzonia, man, he's so talented.
Dude, Alex fucking crushed. Oh my god, fucking Alex was fantastic. He was so good. Mask and drugs. Just don't know, says Stardrew. Listen, Stardrew. Listen.
Oh, sorry. I gotta bring him
up. We're on vacation. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I don't know. Try it out. Being drunk and sort of high was trouble, says Kelsey. Well, okay, that's not true. I take it back. I did get offered drugs one time, and I'm on air and I'm local. I don't know if people are watching, but I was not sober for a little bit, and I was on a ride for that one. I'll tell you that much. But
I don't know why I said the thing about being drunk and high, because like now I'm thinking about it. Every time I get high with people, I'm usually drunk. So
yeah,
when I get high by myself, then
so you just admit you're a liar, Matt. Just admit you're a liar and move on, buddy. Like,
I really like Cowboy Bebop. It's such a good show.
The Cowboy Bebop, or the Netflix season got canceled, so it's so quick.
Now never watch it.
No, but anyway, so back to the concert, right? Marzonia, great. I mean, everybody was great. First and foremost, let me claim that everybody was great. Everybody that performed,
everyone was good. Everyone was great.
The worst thing we can say is that technical difficulties got in the way of a lot of at least a couple people's shows, but it didn't stop it from seeing how good it was.
Yeah.
But I will say David B has a special place in my heart because he played a lot of hits that I like. He played a lot of the punk hits, 05 to 09 hits, and we had some classics there. So that was fun for me. Bateman's thing, of course, absolutely great. I love that I thought that they were taking a picture for so long, me flexing in the background. And I'm going to tell that story in person. But so for anybody who's seen that video circulating around of like most of the C2A crew and like our table, like sitting there singing along to Ben whenever he was on stage, and you see me in the background looking like a fucking idiot, flexing just at the camera. For a long time, I thought we were just taking a picture.
Did no one tell you we're taking a video of us singing?
No one told me. I just saw a camera up, so I'm like, cool, we're taking a picture. And I am like that for like a minute. And it took me about 55 seconds to realize maybe we're not taking a picture, guys. And then after I realized that like it's still going, you just see me eventually go. It's gonna go away. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I remember Brandy telling us like, I want to get a video of all of Call Action singing along. So I knew from the start.
Way over my head. Way over my head. I saw a camera, was like, picture, and just flexed for like a minute straight. Oh, I'm a fucking idiot, dude. So
I didn't even realize you were doing that until I saw the actual video.
No, nobody knew because I was in the far back. So like I was like low key. I was hoping nobody would ever know. And then later, Brandy's putting it on Twitter. Yeah. And like I just felt so on blast. I was just like, oh fuck. That was on camera the whole time. Yeah. So that was fun.
That was fun.
David B is great. God bless David Biscuits himself. Me and Nat, unironically, knew at least 2 or 3 songs from Bateman, word for word.
My guitar right here. What am I going to use it for? Who knows?
Stay tuned.
I will say that of the 9 people that I have on the no chill list, Bateman is not one of them. So
No, he's not. Because Bateman would rather break his back than be on our show.
because we asked him several months ago, like nearly a year. I feel like
we asked him in person. That's spectacular. He's like, "Yeah, let me find time," and I'm like, "Make time, Ben, make it."
He knows what he's done.
He knows what he's doing.
But yeah, I mean, the concert was really great. I have so much respect for people who have any kind of musical talent.
Yeah,
because I do not, and it's just baffling how they're just so good at this thing. Yeah, I mean, everyone was great. I thought David B was great. I thought Ben Bateman was great. Chris Clark's band
underrated. I mean, Chris Clark ate a lot of the technical difficulties, which is like the worst part about it is that they just got saddled with the most, which is definitely unfortunate. But from the couple songs I did get off, man, it was great. It was really, really fun. Wonderful show. Probably my favorite night, I think. I don't know. Spectacular Night was pretty great, though.
Yeah, it's a tough call.
Yeah,
I think they're both up there.
Yeah, they're both side by side for me. They're both side by side for me. But anyway, yeah, that's all the Spectacular talk. I wish we had like a big funny story, like, oh my God, William Bibiani came over, he flashed us, and we gave him $50, and like, I wish we had something like that, but we don't.
Well, it was just like a lot of really chill conversation with people
Right.
that I've been wanting to talk to for a while.
Yeah, I mean, really, just the gist of it. Not to say that it's bad or that it wasn't like entertaining. No, I had a blast. I had absolutely.
And also seeing our C2A fam in person was always great.
Yes, oh my gosh. I mean, I still think that's one of my favorite parts is just being able to see the podcast fam in person and just being able to hang out. So many Danny hugs.
All of them too.
Oh yeah, that's a handful of songs.
Wish they would do a concert maybe. I really think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, Kelsey, I'm 100% with you. I feel like that the concert really did a lot to like kind of like wrap the weekend down. Like, here's your one last shebang after Spectacular.
Oh, and also Paul Preston and Adam Witt were just so funny. That it was so good.
Underappreciated stand up on them. Oh my God, so funny, dude.
Yeah.
But anyway, best thing we can say is stay tuned for any of the upcoming No Chill episodes that we managed to book while being there. Kelsey says definitely the most exciting exponent trip, even with the kids. Kelsey, I know you felt like hands tied behind your back some of the times with your kids, but honestly, I think it was fun sitting there having them around. Like, was it always a perfect situation? I mean, no, because I mean, when you go out to bars, it's not great. But I thought it was great seeing Tilly and Kale. I mean, I hear about them all the time, so it was just like, hey guys, how's it going? So, for what it's worth, I hope they had fun because that's so much of the experience. I appeared in a special part of a Spectacular with a mask. Yes, 100% you did, Smithy. Talk about it being a real, you know what? A lot of faith. I came back from Spectacular, didn't have COVID. That means a lot of people were doing things right.
I haven't gotten tested, but I don't feel sick or anything. And I also had my booster shot. So
yeah, me and Nat are both boosty boys. So we both came away pretty fine. But still, yeah. Hey, you could always get it even with a booster.
Yeah. But you probably won't die, so get your booster.
Probably won't. But yeah, I think that's the most of it. Oh yeah, underrated. How funny it was talking to Peggy.
Yeah. So okay, here's a funny story actually. So Peggy, we had a booth. It was Dylan, Danny, Brandy, me, and Jake. Yeah. And you know how Jake is. He needs to have the smokes and he needs to socialize. So he's not there like a lot of the time. And then so Peggy Gubbins comes and sits with us for like a lot of the night. She is plastered. And honestly, I think Peggy might be one of my new favorite competitors. Like she's
low-key, yeah, 100%.
She's so great. We had this conversation where Jake was like trying to introduce me to her. It was like, hey Peggy, you know who Nat is? And she was like, do I know who Nat is? Of course I know who Nat is. He's the one who sent me that video of the stats and stuff. And I was like, what? That's not me. I don't do that. She was like, no, I'm pretty sure it was you. So I somehow gaslit this girl into thinking that it wasn't me, that I do No Chill with Dylan, and that's it. Yeah. And I just remembered like for half of the year, I did the after reaction report with Megs. And I was definitely in the video that she sent her.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was I wasn't even that drunk at that point.
Nat, you're toxic, buddy. That was the worst. I remember when you realized it was just like that.
Oh my God, Peggy, you're right. You're actually not wrong. That was me.
And she's so drunk, and she's just like trying to make it come together, and I'm just like, oh no, Peggy. No, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Sarge says that was Megs, not Nat. That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, that's what exactly he thought.
So I was going to send it to her. That was all Megs. Megs does the social media posts and tags them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I didn't think about
it
being on that. Really. Yeah.
Smithy mentions being in the Guy Fawkes Max. Yeah, Smithy, we forgive you for being a Roka fanboy in the intro.
Oh yeah, you were. That's what you meant by the mask.
Yeah. And we forgive you for it, Smithy. It's okay. But other than that, I don't think I have any other big stories or other spectacular talk unless you just had some random rants or thoughts.
Oh, fucking when we were talking to Adam Witt, then Matt Nose just comes by into our conversation to invite him on his podcast. I was like, oh, I guess I'll use the bathroom now. That was
yeah. You know, it's actually pretty humbling to see that other like Schmodown people have to do exactly what we did too. Because like Matt Nose came over with the same energy that me and you have going over to like people.
Same exact energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Like wide-eyed, hey, I know we haven't met. I'm Matt. I'd love to have you on the show. And I'm like, Matt, like you've been in Schmodown for like years. You're like, what are you doing? Like, why are you acting like us? And which is so funny because like it's okay. So my last closing thought was spectaculars. I think it's interesting seeing having to reset talking to people that you know that you've talked to and had long talks with several times, or been on No Chill even, and like had several long talks with and stuff like that. But in person, it just feels like we're all like shy again, right? Like we all got reset. Like I'm like, I know I've talked to Brendan Meyer several times, but he's just so cool. I don't know. He's been talking to somebody.
Yeah, I think the thing is that it's easy to talk to someone when you're one-on-one. But like, I feel weird like interjecting myself when they're having a conversation with someone else.
Right.
Yeah, that's where it gets weird.
Yeah, for me, it's a common courtesy thing. Like, I don't want to like hop in or like interrupt or anything like that.
That's why the couch thing was such a brilliant play because they're usually by themselves.
Because they I didn't feel fine interrupting them on their like path to go piss. Just be like, hey, come talk to us after, and they're like, okay. Yeah. Exactly. So if we've learned anything, it's that if me and Nat ever start doing live no chills, it's going to be from a couch at Barney's. So, which would be a great set, to be honest. I won't lie, like that.
Honestly, I would love to do that.
I would too. But that's a spectacular talk all in a nutshell. I really wish I got to talk to more people. It's always going to be the story of, I wish I got to talk to people more or talk to people at all. I didn't get any chance to sit there and talk to Brendan Meyer for more than a couple sets, like maybe in
me either.
Which is a shame because
he's one of those people who's always like surrounded by people.
So yeah, he's always with somebody. So that one was hard. Oyama coming up and sitting there and like literally just being, how are you? And I'm just like,
I've known Oyama for years, like before he was even a Schmodown competitor.
Right.
I mean, Action Army chat, and that was like my first time meeting him, so that was cool.
Yeah. So good times all around. Humble, great community, lovely. Not a bad thing to say. Wonderful trip. I'm old, and I went to bed earlier, more nights than I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, I couldn't. I was just fucking dead. At like 1:00, it was 3:00 my time, and I'm just fried, dude. Like, take me out, country roads, West Virginia. You know the song. Let's switch it back to Hawkeye. I want to talk Hawkeye again. Hawkeye spoilers. We're back. So, episode before last, Yelena comes in, pretty sweet, big 4-way fight.
Really says I got to meet Chance, great guy. He's not that great. I meet him like every week. He's
Chance is fine. Chance is fine. Don't fucking blow it up his ass, Alan. Okay, so Hawkeye. So, that being said, the pitch for the episode before this most recent one was a 4-way with Florence Pugh, Haley Steinfeld,
Alaqua Cox. Is that it? It's Alaqua. I think it's Alaqua.
It's Alaqua. Yeah, Alaqua Cox and Jeremy Renner, and that was about it. And then it was a fight on the rooftop, and then I was a little upset. But
you don't like the rooftop fights?
The rooftop fight was fine, but originally, whenever I was being pitched that it was supposed to be a 4-way with Haley and Florence Pugh, I'm just saying I had a different idea of how that episode was supposed to go.
Who told you that?
I think it was Kelsey.
Who used those words?
I think it was Kelsey.
That's very misleading. Like that would be a very different show, which I would be probably more into. But yeah, I mean, it was a good episode. I think that I find it really interesting how Hawkeye talks about the best shot that he ever took was the one he didn't take.
Yeah,
and that's obviously referring to Black Widow, Natasha. And it's so interesting that's kind of mirrored in the rooftop fight when Kate clearly has a shot on Yelena and she doesn't take it for whatever reason. I think that's such good storytelling, and I can't wait to see more of these two interacting. And we got that last episode, and I could not be more happier.
No, that where they just have a girls' night and they're just sitting there talking. I could watch a whole episode of that. I won't lie. I'm just like, hell yeah, let's do girls' night. Fuck some other stuff going on. Nothing else important. But there was something important. We got fucking Kingpin confirmed.
The King is back.
The King is back. The King is back.
It's finally confirmed. They've danced around this for like so long, for 4 or 5 episodes.
Dancing around it. Oh, it's D'Onofrio, everybody. I'm not back in the show. Not back in it.
I really wish that they didn't, like, Kevin Feige didn't just randomly drop that we were getting Charlie Cox in the MCU before this episode. Because that would have been so sick. What an episode. What an episode. Starter says, what's your go-to for mac and cheese sauce? Tuna sauce. I'm just kidding. I don't really eat mac and cheese with any kind of sauce. Just straight up mac and cheese.
No, I'm like, why? I mean, if your mac and cheese needs sauce, I don't know what's going on. Mac and cheese is a pretty perfect meal by nature.
Yeah.
Here's what I add to mac and cheese: breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs on top.
Breadcrumbs are dynamite.
Yeah, it puts it up to a whole next level. Other than that, I don't go really for sauces. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, she used the sriracha, which I've never heard of someone using sriracha with.
I haven't heard it. I wouldn't hate it though. I love sriracha. I'm sure.
Like, I love sriracha. I feel like that'd be an interesting combination.
A little bit, just to give like all of it a little bit more heat, but I don't think I'd love it like doused, right?
Yeah, I agree. Especially with mac and cheese. I'm down to try it. I've never had it, but it sounds like something that would be good.
Right. You know what I appreciate about this episode though? Tuna or breadcrumbs? All right, cool, Dill. Cool, Dill.
So here's my stance on tuna mac. I've had it the first time I had it. I was like, oh, this is actually that bad. And then the second time I had it, I was like, oh, okay, this was not as good as the first time. And these two flavors do not mesh.
No, it's gross. It's gross as shit. I wouldn't do fucking tuna mac. And Starger, what do you do in your mac and cheese? Listen, breadcrumbs is all you need. It's the bare minimum. It's already a good meal. What are you putting in there?
Like breadcrumbs with mac and cheese.
Stardew, you probably put a sour cream in there or something wild like that.
Tuna would be cool with mac and cheese. It depends on like what would your taste buds are like that day.
No,
like the first time I had it, it was pretty good.
No, if I go somewhere and they're like, "Hey, you want mac and cheese?" And I'm like, "Cool," and they dropped tuna mac and cheese in front of me, I would literally throw the bowl to the wall and break, and I would sit there and say, "You deserve that."
Kelsey is trying to turn everything to our cyber thirst chat.
Kelsey, anything that one wants to put in her mouth, I want. God damn it, Kelsey. Somebody, hold on. Kelsey, can you just YouTube meditating in a waterfall? Like just a video of that? Because that's the mood you need to be in right now. You need to be zen, girl. Bring it together. Our chat is leaking. Our chat is leaking all over this episode.
Damn, I should have asked Jesse Swift when we were at Spectacular to have me on his show, his HAWKEYE review show.
Oh yeah, you really missed the ball by just not having.
I missed the ball.
Yeah, he was like, we talked to Jesse a handful of times too.
He's another person I wish we had more time with because I honestly love Jesse. I think he's such a nice guy, and I would have loved to talk to him more. But
yeah,
we only had so much time.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. That shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Our Eiffel Tower chat has bled over. Is that what that is?
I mean, it's not wrong. It's just me, you, and Kelsey. So, no comment.
Yeah, we'll let you.
Kelsey, we'll let you have it.
On that.
We'll let you have it. All of it, baby.
All right, so HAWKEYE.
HAWKEYE. So
good episode. I think that's with the MCU with Haley Steinfeld and Florence Pugh. the MCU is in such good hands with those
Mhm.
two. Like I love Yelena and her character and her personality. Like that, it's so good. And
So good.
just we're gonna get those two interacting with other MCU characters eventually. Like I really hope. I hope they interact with Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be so good.
I just want to see them like. I just want to see Kate and Peter just kind of like geeking out, like
Yeah.
about like superheroes. Like I
Yeah.
think that just plays a really fun dynamic. But yeah, it's so much fun. I'm really curious to see what they do in that last episode because this is the last one next, right?
There's one left, and it's gonna be crazy with
That one has to be nuts.
the
Like
introduction of Kingpin. Are you kidding me?
Kingpin into MCU official. Fuck yeah. I wonder. I have to assume that they're going to give us a little bit of insight if they're gonna do a soft reboot with Kingpin on this, though.
I kind of hope they don't. I hope they keep the same
I hope that it's like canon, that like the Daredevil stuff all plays the way that it does. And
I really do hope it's canon, and I honestly hope they bring everyone back.
Yeah,
even Danny Rand. Like I think that
I don't know about that.
Okay, so here's the thing with Danny Rand. All right, Finn Jones could have actually been a really good Danny Rand. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. The first season of Iron Fist sucked, and the second season of Iron Fist wasn't good, but it didn't suck as much. It wasn't his fault because they didn't have they didn't give him enough time to like actually get into the martial arts role and like actually train and everything. And I don't know, they didn't make Iron Fist a priority, and that's why it suffered. The script was terrible, but I don't think it was Finn Jones's fault. And I would love for him to get a second chance. And also, like everyone else is obviously amazing. Mike Coulter as Luke Cage was great, especially his chemistry with Luke Cage. I think that's like hugely underrated, and we saw a lot of that in Luke Cage season 2, I think. Or they're just so forgettable. There's so many of them.
Well, you say that we saw that, but that's presuming a lot of people who watched any of those second seasons. And
no,
I didn't.
I feel like they don't have to do it in a way where that's required viewing. I think they could reintroduce those characters, and the true fans can have that knowledge of these things that happen to them. I think that would still play. But I just want John Bernthal as Punisher back. I want Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones back.
Absolutely.
And obviously Charlie Cox as Daredevil.
Which they've already said as much, that Charlie Cox, if it would be back as Daredevil. So but yeah, I mean, I think that if you only have to keep like a small handful, you only get to keep a small handful in priority. Vincent, yes. Charlie Cox next. Punisher after that.
Those are the big three. Like, if I can't have anything else, I need those three, because those three knock that ball. And honestly, I really push for Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones, even if they don't do much with Jessica Jones again, because I think she crushed. Oh my god! First season of Jessica Jones, I think, is as good as Daredevil. No, it definitely is. It's for sure as good as Daredevil. And speaking of that, like, I would love to see Purple Man, Dave Tennant's Purple Man, come back.
Give me an excuse to bring it back. Just
even if I know he's dead. Technically, spoilers for Jessica Jones season 1, but there's the multiverse, you know. We got a different one. I don't care.
Just pull a different David Tennant on that. Let him roll again. 100%, dude. I'd be so stoked for that.
Yeah, and bring in Colleen Wing. I think is awesome. I think
Colleen was really good.
The actress, Jessica Henwick, I think is her name. She's in the Matrix movie.
Jessica Henwick.
She's great. And Foggy too. I think Foggy is good. But one thing I haven't seen people mention was Karen, Deborah Ann Wool.
No, Deborah Ann Wool. Yeah, dang, I knew I was forgetting somebody. Yeah, Deborah Ann Wool as Karen is definitely, like, again, criminally underrated, if anything.
Yeah, and it's so sad, like, what happened to her, because like she hasn't gotten a lot of work since Daredevil.
No, since Daredevil, she just hasn't been working. She said like she hadn't gotten like an offer in like 2 years or something, and I remember when she said that, like, in some passing podcast or some headline gave that out, and I was just like, wow. Especially coming off of like True Blood too. Like, it's not like she's like even with Daredevil not being that big, she was big in True Blood as well. So
I read that too, and that shocked me, because I'm trying to think of the last thing I saw her in. She's been in the Escape Room movies, and that's pretty much it. That's all I can remember her in.
No, which is insane, because she's super good. Like, even if you look at the shows that like even the shows that didn't feel like they landed that well, like, she crushed. Like, she was great in everything she did.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
But yeah, Hawkeye was
but
really
Hawkeye.
good.
I mean, listen. So much of it is just like a build up to the reveal. Echo, Echo and Ronan. So I'll say this: the Ronan Echo fight, like Ronan just coming in like Batman, doing Batman shit all day. But I like that. Clint goes up to her and just randomly says, like, "No, I'm telling you this right now to your face. You push forward again, and that's it. I'm gonna kill you. If you go after my family, I kill you." Like,
yeah, I know. Like it's a Disney Plus show, and they obviously can't do this. And Echo's getting her own series, but like if I was Hawkeye, I would probably just murder her ass. Honestly,
I mean, kind of.
I mean, she's going after you. She knows who you are.
She knows
It's
who
just a
your
matter
family
of
is.
time before she goes after your family. I
Yeah,
would have murked your ass, but
yeah.
that's just me.
I won't lie. I take Echo out. If I'm him, I take him out. But I sincerely love anything with Echo and kind of putting together that, oh shit, like something's off. The lieutenant wasn't there at the meeting that night. Like I like that little brief conversation that she has with him, and she's like, okay.
Oh, sorry to bring up an interesting point I hadn't thought about because I just watched the episode. Echo realizing who Ronan is that day, Kazi might be Ronan, which is interesting. Because I think maybe Kingpin might have framed Ronan there and had Kazi do it. It's a possibility, but
that would be wild. Ooh. Tell me more, Star Drew. Tell me more. No, I like that. I think that's.
It's not a wait a week, and then
Right.
all will be revealed.
All will be revealed literally 1 week from now.
And by then we will have seen Spider-Man No Way Home too.
Yeah,
which I will have.
We won't be reviewing it for like 3 weeks because next week is Christmas. Spoiler: we're probably not going to host that time.
Nope.
Following week is New Year's Eve. Spoiler: I might just say we just skip it. Don't wait until the next week.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of holidays back to back. So
it's a lot of holidays.
So
yeah, it's a busy time.
Super busy time. So I guess as we begin to wind down on this last Twitch Wednesdays, T-dubs of the year.
Of the year.
What else? Do we got anything else to talk about, man?
Yeah, let's talk about the Matrix. Because yes, so I'm doing a Matrix. We watch all the movies, just the movies, not Animatrix, not the video game, none of all that. Just the movie.
That's fair.
And I talked about this before, I think on our last show, but the Matrix, the movie itself, the first one, the 1999 Matrix, is obviously a classic.
Yeah.
Obviously has so many iconic moments, and obviously I loved it. I mean, I don't know who on this planet doesn't love the Matrix movie, who's seen it. Like, it's just so good. Mm-hmm. It's a masterpiece. I don't really need to speak more on that. The other day I watched Matrix Reloaded. And boy, oh boy. So here was my thought process going in, because I saw these movies a really, really long time ago, years ago at this point. And I remember thinking that Matrix 1 was good. Matrix Reloaded was a step down, but it was still good. Mm-hmm. And Matrix Revolution, is that it?
Revelations
was terrible. So I was expecting a gradual drop in quality. And yeah, that's what I got. Because I feel like Reloaded wasn't as bad as people have been saying it is.
There's some sweet parts on Reloaded.
But here's the thing with Reloaded. Every single thing they do goes on for way too long.
Yeah.
It goes on. Okay. The action scenes aside, like, I know it has to have action scenes, and some of them were so sweet. I remember the action scene right after he talks to Oracle, and he fights like the army of Agent Smith.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was so sick when I first saw it. This time around, I was like, oh, the CGI does not hold up. And also,
that fight goes on for a long time.
Yeah, if Chandru asks, I don't know anything about the Matrix. Okay, Renhan does not know anything about the Matrix, and we will let Chandru know that.
Brandon, I feel like this is like you gaslighting Chandru, but I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you have it, buddy.
Yeah. It goes on for way too long. Like, every single fight scene they do goes on for way too long. The sex scene they have, that is interlooped with the whole dancing rave scene.
Inappropriately long, right?
It's way too long.
Yeah,
I'm very pro sex scene. Like I'm
Listen,
very.
we are the most pro Dong and TNA podcast you will find here at a certain point of view. But yeah, they that just it kept going.
It kept going.
Man.
It didn't stop. It was way too long. Well, the people dancing with their mesh shirts and their see-through stuff. Yeah, I mean, everything goes on for way too long. I think the concept of Matrix Reloaded was so interesting because I've given like predeterminism and the idea of destiny a lot of thought. I feel like I wouldn't really call myself a determinist, but I do think that there's only like one way things can play out, and I think that movie kind of touched on that idea, and they had some interesting points that they brought up, but they didn't touch on them enough, or in a effective way enough for me to like be like, oh, this movie really has something to say, and it just kind of fell flat, the themes that they were trying to touch on. And that's a real shame because the concept of Reloaded is so interesting, and I think they just like they kind of dropped the ball.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. I felt like I rewatched Reloaded recently, kind of getting geared up for it. Yeah. I haven't rewatched Resurrections, so I watched like parts of Resurrections. I caught like the tail end. I remember kind of what the hell happened at the end. But Reloaded, it's more of a problem that like it's not that it's a bad movie. It's that it has strengths that they don't give enough time. Like the things that they do, like the things that are really cool and interesting about it, they don't give a healthy amount of time to flesh out in unique ways. Whereas the things that are good about it drag too long, and that goes into making them kind of bad. Like again, some of the fights go on for way longer than they probably should.
No, I definitely agree. I feel like I agree with everything you said. I think that certain things they had too much time, and certain other things they didn't have enough time. Right. Like, there was no good balance. Like the fight scenes were way too long. The sex scene was way too long. But I really wish they gave more time to like the twins and the whole werewolf thing. And what's the Frenchman?
The Frenchman in general. All this little nook and cranny about like Matrix culture and seeing these people who are looking at Neo, the one, and just being like, I'm unfazed by you. Like you're bothersome to me. And it's just like, okay, that's something I want to know about. All right, I got to get in Brandon Hanna on chat. So he says, I definitely do not want to mentally fight him about the Matrix. And followed with, but I have seen the Matrix. I would say I like all three if I had seen them, which I have not. Brandon, what the fuck? What are you doing?
I agree with this hypothetical, Brandon Hanna.
Yeah.
I haven't rewatched Revelations, but Reloaded, I think was, for all its faults, I still think it was an enjoyable movie.
I think it's still fun. Yeah. Resurrections, I kind of felt the same way. I feel like once you get into like the deep lore of like the outside of the Matrix with the machines and all of like the world kind of going on there, I think it's an interesting story that's not told in the best way. And that's like the worst thing I can say about it is that it just comes back to sitting here and saying it's a good idea, but it just isn't executed always the best. Yeah. And it gives you enough to just be interested in it because it's cool and there's enough going on that's really neat about it without it ever perfectly sticking to landing.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. That those match my thoughts exactly. I do also wish that they spent less time on Zion. I thought that was like my favorite part of the movie.
Zion, for being cool, is definitely still the least interesting part. Like everything, all the most interesting parts happen inside the Matrix, I think. But
also like the most interesting parts happen inside the Matrix. But like one thing I don't understand is why they have that meeting in the beginning inside the Matrix. Why wouldn't they have it in person with everyone there when you're not at risk of agents killing you yet?
If Neo was there, it would make sense because it's just like, yeah, I mean, Neo's here. He just wants to be a superhero. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
But also, I feel like they don't have a firm grasp on what Neo's powers are.
No.
Because at the end of the Matrix, you're like, Neo's like basically Jesus. He can do anything he wants. He can snap his fingers and wipe out everything. But in this movie, I feel like they had to depower him just so they can have a story to tell.
Yeah.
And also, like, during that fight scene with all the Mr. Smiths, the Agent Smiths, why didn't he just fly away at the beginning?
Right.
why
am I fighting him? But you know why? Because he had power and he had ego for a little bit.
Oh, I think we just spoiled Matrix Reloaded for Kelsey here, but yeah.
Kelsey, it's more about the ride than it is the story, if I'm being honest. So
yeah, you probably don't need to.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, even if we spoiled some of like these other points and stuff like that, it's more about just experiencing it. Like you could know this fight happens and you're not missing. Spoil. I know. Sorry, Kelsey, ruined it. This is what we get for not putting a Matrix banner on it. But that being said, I'm checked to the tits for Matrix 4, dude. I know you were way more hype on this second trailer than I was. Like I'm still not.
So we watched the second trailer together at the Action House for the first time, and honestly, that trailer, I thought it was better than the first. And you disagree.
I think it puts too much out there. It's one of those trailers that puts too much and maybe answers questions I didn't want to hear about. I've heard enough about it just existing in the space. That's fair, Kelsey. I was about to say you're in movie geek territory. Like we're not the first people to talk about Matrix around you. Let's be honest.
I don't know why certain comments aren't popping up in StreamYard.
No, I'm not sure either. Matrix is pretty much the cyberpunk, the machine of everyday life system and things like that. Sarge says Revelations is garage fire.
Yeah,
but
comment,
yeah, the Matrix video game. Yeah, no, for those who don't know, they put out like a Enter the Matrix like video game like tech demo, which is just kind of showing off Unreal Engine 5. Which for video game nerds like me and Nat are just saying this is the next engine that they're using to make all the graphics and the worlds and all this stuff with. And that one looks sweet.
That was something else I wanted to talk about because me and you're like the huge video game guys.
Yeah.
Game Awards just happened. But we don't have time for that. Let's just finish up with Matrix.
Yeah, let's finish Matrix. So I would say, long story short, I still think that the first trailer is by and far away like better and my favorite. I mean, to be fair, it is my favorite trailer of the year. Because I just love it's a perfect little trailer movie, right? It does everything I want out of a trailer. It gives you like a little bit of the movie, but it's like the trailer itself is a little bit of its movie. It's like a little tiny movie in itself, right? But it doesn't give you answers. It just gives you enough for you to want to be asking questions. Perfect. The little music video making it all work together made so much more sense. I actually showed Hannah both trailers because I was like, "That's crazy. I need to show you these," and she agreed. But she's in bed, so she can't back me on this.
Listen. There's no proof that she agrees. All right, now I'm supposed to take your word for it. Come on. Sarju says I would like to watch Kingsman, Matrix, and Sing 2, and going to watch Spidey tomorrow. I'm gonna go see Spidey tomorrow, and unfortunately, the times just didn't work out for me to see Matrix on opening night because I have to work and also get up early in the morning.
Matrix is next week, right?
Yeah. And so I'm seeing Kingsman instead. Which it's kind of bumming me out because there's no way that movie's good. But yeah, I mean, I think the second trailer I haven't had time to like rewatch and reanalyze, but I think it kind of ended on a really really sweet note, and that's why I put it over the edge a little bit. That I still know Kung Fu line.
That line is sweet though. I will say, like, I'm not the hottest on that trailer, but that line is sweet. Yeah, just having Keanu kind of be like showing off like ego Matrix Neo again a little bit is awesome. But yeah, dude, I'm so excited for that movie. I can't wait to be like scratching my head over like how meta it's gonna get, just how deep into like Mr. Anderson is an actor in the movie The Matrix and the movie The Matrix, the world, like, and just kind of see how it gets insane from there. Oh, I can't wait to see that. I think that's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're being spoiled with so many good movies coming up. Spider-Man, Matrix.
French Dispatch is in theaters. I need to still watch that.
I
heard Lea Seydoux hangs Dom in that movie.
She is without clothes for a long time.
Like an extended scene from what
an extended scene. Yeah. And it was pretty awesome seeing that on the big screen.
Well, and to be fair, it's not her first time. She actually isn't. I feel like she's nude in movies more than she's not actually.
Well, she's French, and they're like a lot more.
Yeah, they don't care. I mean, French are just like nudity, whatever.
Which is the right idea to have because I feel like Americans are so prudish about sex, but like they're like.
But gun violence, though.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the French Dispatch, I wasn't like a huge fan of.
I'm hearing a lot of mixed reviews. I hear that it's like critics are still loving it, but a lot of people are like, it feels very critic painting.
It's one of those movies where you have to be in the right mood for. But I will say it's the most Wes Anderson movie that he's ever done. So if you're a fan of his style, then I think you'll enjoy it. Sergio says I still need to watch West Side Story.
Yeah,
Yes, we do, because it's delightful.
I keep hearing that West Side Story is actually just fantastic.
It's
Just-
fantastic. It's
Just
great.
wonderful. Yeah.
It might even be better than the 1961 version, which is saying a lot because I really like that movie.
Kelsey says, yes, as an American, I can vouch for that. So prude. Kelsey, the prudest prude. I say that. You pull her picture and it's pull it up again. I say that, and then I look right at her picture, and it's just her looking. Never change, Kelsey. Never change. Anyway, guys.
Anyway, Cowboy Bebop is canceled after one season.
Shut the fuck up now. Hey, you know what? The good Cowboy Bebop only needed one season to tell the whole story.
We're gonna be rating someone, and that person is Sasha Grey.
Yeah, end of the year.
Ben Goddard is not streaming for once.
Yeah, Ben Goddard, you son of a bitch, you're not streaming.
We're gonna be off Twitch. We're still gonna be live on YouTube, but not for long.
We'll see you guys over in New Year 2022. Hopefully, it's a little better. Knock on wood. Bye, guys.
All right, we just rated Sasha Grey, and now we're ending the broadcast on YouTube. Thank you for watching, everyone. We'll be back. Bye.